I have a really special guest today, and it's not often that you get to spend a little time with a Hall of Fame baseball player who is a living legend. His name is Albert Pujols. For any of you who follow baseball, who are just a sports enthusiast, you'll probably know that name. Albert is not only an amazing ball player, has had a great career, will leave a wonderful legacy. He's somebody I call a friend. Luckily, he's allowed me to do a small interview with him and let me share it to all of you. I hope you enjoy it. Let's get to it.
Pretty good, right?
Not bad, right?
Okay, I'm a little impressed.
Good to have dreams. It's good to think about who you want to be, but you also want to be, like I was telling Chuck, you want to be your own boss, but you just don't want to work for him for the rest of your life. You want to have your own business too. You got water and you put a sponge. What does that do? Sucks it in.
Yeah.
Well, that's the same thing that you guys need to do. Sucks, his word, his wisdom. And as a player, that's who I was as a young player, because I knew how to play the game, but I still need to learn. And 21 years later, believe it or not, I still learning the game. And you want to be willing to have that opportunity. So grab that opportunity like it's your last one. Don't think about, there's going to be another one tomorrow. No, grab this one. I always want to improve. I always want to get better. He always wants to bring new material. He always wants to bring good thing to the store, because if he keeps bringing the same new thing, people get bored. As a human being, it's just naturally.
It's great words of wisdom, man. It's exactly what I tell you guys all the time. Your goal is not to work for me the rest of your life. Your goal is to take what I've given you, exactly what he said. Like, we didn't rehearse this, believe me, but we've both been through it so many times.
Yeah. Like, when I speak to players, there's nobody that can look at me and say, well, you haven't gone through. There's no way. In 21 years, trust me, I gone through a lot.
I came up with like 5 or 6 questions that I really wanted to ask you. These are things that maybe you would never get asked in the press. I watched that game versus the Cardinals, where you came back with the Dodger uniform and you hit that home run. But before you hit the home run, what goes through your head, even before you hit the homer?
To answer your question, yes, it was emotional a little bit. It was great. I wouldn't trade that moment for anything. It was something that I was always looking forward to, and to be able to deliver and hit a home run my first at bat, it was pretty special.
It was I wrote down here, if you could do the fairy tale ending on like 1 or 2 records that you'd want to hold, where could you see your last game?
I know people say, well, records are to be broken. Records are like chasing goals. I don't like to chase goals. I like things to happen. I never thought that I was gonna hit 100 home runs in the big leagues. I got over 600 plus, and to be able to accomplish with your team that you love, it's like taking that 500 pounds out of your shoulders to say, yes, we did it. So that's why I really try not to think too much about records.
My little clothing business, the record for me is, can I do more business from the year before? And can I make more money from the year before profitably? And can my team prosper more than what we did a year before? I mean, that's how I think about it in my business.
Well, it's the same thing in my career. Like, it's always been like, I never want to satisfied with the good year that I had last year. I want to get better.
Let's say you have a day off in LA. You are off for like 2 or 3 days. What do you do on your day off?
We only get 1 day off. Oh. That's it, pretty much.
Okay, I guess 1 day off. Let me scratch 3.
Yeah, nothing. I mean, spend time with the family, dropping off kids at school, picking the kids up.
Yeah.
Dinner, just spending time.
Being a dad and a husband.
Just being a dad, yeah. It's not much, but it's what is important, you know.
Let's say you weren't good enough to play baseball. What do you think you would have been doing today to earn a living? You ever think about that?
That's great, because my whole thought was I wanted to be an engineer.
Really?
Construction. Thank God that he had another different plans for me, and it worked out well.
Yes, it did.
I pursued baseball, but my education was always first. As an athlete, there's so many players that have gone drafted and 2 years later they're out of baseball.
Yeah.
And what are you gonna do now?
Yeah, exactly.
You know?
Yeah.
So that's why I always say that education was really important for me. I used to clean shoes. I used to throw trash for money I can bring some money for my family. And I love to share because everybody see the Albert Pujols, the career and the success, but they don't know the childhood, the sacrifice. So I had a really rough childhood because I think they need to learn, and hopefully
People would be shocked at your story.
You know, my story can inspire others, you know.
Yeah. Okay, so last question. Is there 3 people that inspired you because of their greatness? Could you ever narrow it down to those 3 people?
Great question, and it's hard to narrow it down for just
after
3
21
people
years
because you have so many people. But I would say if I had to narrow it down to 3, it has to be my wife, number 1, my compadre Placido Polanco, who's one of my best friends, and then Fernando Arango, who passed away several years ago.
Thanks for answering some of this, man. These are things that I personally had on my mind, and because of our relationship, I just things I wanted to hear from you. And you know, I'm not ESPN here. I'm not a news reporter.
Yeah,
here,
this is a friendship.
Yeah, man.
This is better, you know,
Yeah.
than ESPN reporter. Because we're talking as a friend,
Yeah.
you know, and it's more naturally, you know. And I don't have to sit here and try to fake something.
So I just took Albert back to his hotel. As you saw from the videos, we really got to catch up, and you know, we shared a lot of stories over the years. But I mean, I think one of the highlights for me today is just really catching up with him. But I have to tell you, tossing baseball with Albert today was so much fun. Going through a little question and answer session, and him able to talk to the young people on my team today meant a lot to me, because he's mentored the young people, as you saw from the video, in baseball, in life. And it's the same thing I try to do with my young team members who really get it, who I love working with every day. I hope you enjoyed that video. Hopefully there'll be a lot more videos like that I can bring to you. And I appreciate you listening. Please subscribe right here. Hit that button, leave us your comments, and I can't wait to show you more videos in the future.